Hello everybody, this is Albert from Green Tea House. I hope you're doing well today. Today we're going to talk about oolong tea. Now before I begin, if you appreciate our content at all, please hit the like button, the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so these episodes come fresh to you. So this is part 4 in our series of the What Is. So it's kind of the rudimentary foundational series. So I definitely recommend it. I'll put banners in here to watch the first 3 episodes. So oolong tea, I find to be the most interesting of the colored teas that come from the Camellia sinensis tea plant. And why is that? Because whereas white tea is very one-dimensional, it's 5% oxidation, it has a certain taste, and green tea is not oxidized at all. And yes, there's a lot of varieties of green tea. Oolong tea has a great gamut because it can run from oxidation of about 8% all the way to 85%. And so when you're getting something that's lightly oxidized, it's going to have more of a taste of a white or a green tea, more of a lighter aroma, lighter liqueur, the color of it. And if you go all the way to 50, 60, 70, 80% on that side of the gamut, that side of the spectrum, you're looking at a black tea. The taste is going to be more similar to a black tea. So it runs the gamut of color, of taste, and there's just a lot of variety in the oolong world. Now I'm currently drinking right here in my gawan, my traditional Chinese cup here, I am drinking a jasmine oolong that is just really, really good. It's one of my favorite teas that we actually offer here. It's a magnolia oolong, I should say. And it's really, really good. It's probably my favorite tea that I like to drink. So how is oolong made different from the other ones? Well, of course, they all come from the Camellia sinensis tea plant. And as I talked about in that first episode, which is really crucial that you watch, it's all a question of oxidation. So all the colored teas are oxidized or lack of oxidized or broken down in different ways. So when you think of oolong, and oolong means black dragon in Mandarin, that's where they get the term oolong, it means black dragon. When you look at oolong, oolong is plucked, just like the other teas, you gotta pluck it from the plant. It is plucked and then it is withered, but not as withered as long as white tea. White tea can go several days of just leaving out in the sun. With oolong, it's shorter. Typically they'll do solar withering. You can see, I'll try to put some videos in here. You can see they'll do solar withering, and then later they'll do some indoor withering. But the key crucial thing about oolong that makes it different than all the other teas is that it gets bruised. And how do they bruise it, and why do they bruise it? Well, they bruise it to oxidize it. And by oxidizing and breaking it down, the tea masters, and for China, if for oolong, it's really going to be China and Taiwan that are the masters of this. The different tea masters of the different regions of the different cultivars, they know exactly how they want to bruise it to get the distinctive taste, flavor, look, and so forth. So normally they'll hand bruise it. It's like they're massaging somebody's scalp. They'll hand bruise it like that. And then they're going to put it in one of these tumbler machines that's going to turn it, and that's going to bruise it a little more. But the distinctive way that they bruise oolong is that they're going to put the leaves in a cotton bag, and then they turn it and turn it and turn it, and they can do this up to 35 times. Now they do this after they have frozen it and kill greened it. So they kill green it just like they do with green tea, because you have to eventually kill green every tea. If not, it's just going to oxidize. And the way they kill green it is by heating it up. So once they tumble it and they get it to whatever consistency the tea master wants, then they're going to put it in the heater to freeze that oxidation process, so it's no longer going to oxidize. So at that point, it's been oxidized, and now they're going to put it in the cotton balls, and they're going to turn it and turn it. And the reason they do this is to get a distinct look and a distinct appearance to oolong. And the distinct look of most oolongs is going to be kind of turned. The leaves are going to be kind of twisted, sometimes twisted like a ball with a little thing coming out of it, unlike, let's say, gunpowder green tea from China, which is the real good ones, are like tightly balled, tightly watered. The oolongs are going to be kind of just curved. So when you look at oolong dry leaves, they have this distinctive look, but once you put it in the hot water, then the whole leaf opens up. And I'll show you a picture here a second of my leaves that I just did here for the Magnolia Oolong, the before and after. So that's one of the beauties of just tea in general, but certainly with the oolongs, is that the before and after is just magnificent. Where if you look at like black tea, CTC black tea, it looks the same before and after. But with oolong, it's really tightly bound up, and then it just opens up. And so they put them in these balls, then they take them out of them, and then you can see in this video how they pretty much have the distinctive look of oolong, and now they got to dry it. So they put in these heaters to dry it, because remember, all tea needs to be under 5% moisture for it to be able to be shipped abroad. And if it's not under 5%, let's say it's 12% wet, it's going to lead to mold growth, and it ruins the tea. So again, the tea masters know all of this, and they know how to do it. So the key with oolong, the two big takeaways with oolong is that it's distinctive than all the other teas because they bruise it. In particular, they do the cotton bags and to get the shape like that. And then the taste ranges from almost green to black, depending on where it is on the spectrum. Now, some famous oolongs would be Dong Ding. Dong Ding is a famous one from Taiwan. It sounds like ding dong, but it's Dong Ding, and that is more of a light taste. And so you might have heard of that. That's typically called Frozen Summit or Ice Peak. You have Alishan. Alishan is another Taiwanese one that is pretty high end. That's a pretty famous one. And there's a lot of famous ones in China as well. And the interesting thing I think about the oolongs is that they all have kind of cooler names. If you look at the greens, and yeah, the greens can have different names for the cultivars, but you know, it's pretty much like a Hojicha and a Essentia or whatever it is, Dragonwell, whatever it is. But the oolongs, they kind of have cool names that are attached to it. The other thing I want to mention about oolong is that we have a light and a strong. So we offer a green tea house both a light, more of a green tea. So like the Magnolia Oolong that I'm drinking right now, which has a nice little liqueur to it, it might go on here. We offer that, and then we also offer a stronger oolong. So if you purchase both of them, you can really juxtapose the two different. And that's what makes oolong my favorite, in that there's just such a wide range of taste, aroma, flavors, and looks. Guys, post in the comments. I love to hear from you. What's your belief? What's your take on oolong tea? Do you like oolong tea? Until next time, take care, God bless, and pray.